Alright. Let's check out Watch Me Work. It'll be along shortly. I've got some friends helping me stream tonight. I've got some dog friends, so it could get loud in here. I'm just warning you. Warning you, everybody. Hey, dogs. All right. Hey. Stop it, both of y'all. Stop it, both of y'all. We're gonna draw. We're gonna draw. You guys need to go so I can draw. Unless you're gonna help. I don't think you're gonna help. Oh, look at it. They're just tearing me up. My goodness. I'm gonna have to show you off on stream sometime, big dog. You'll probably see his tail. It's Rusty. Hey, Rusty. Alright. You gotta go lay down, buddy. You gotta go lay down so we can draw. Yeah. You gotta go lay down, everybody. Toe dog. Let's see. You wanna hop in a chat, Toe dog? You fire up Discord. We're doing some crazy, epic art music tonight. All right, Toe Dog. I'm in Discord if you want to jump in. Otherwise, let's get to drawing as best I can. See what happened to these two jokers. Nope, we're all good. All right, so I worked ahead a little bit again. Just to get us started. We're going to check in with Gypsy this week. There's Rusty. Can you see Rusty laying down back there? Alright. Of course I'm in the wrong thing. This guy Fozzik is a character from way back. He's the guy I'm drawing right now. He is awesome. For those of you that don't know, Bill, you know, the barbarian, Bill, has sort of a, this innate, I don't want to say superpower, but he's got this sort of ability where he, at the most inopportune or, well, opportune time, he sort of hulks out, he rages out. And so the last time these two guys met, Bill took off his arm, which is pretty crazy. Is that the Toll Dog I hear in the chat?
That is me. I'm on my laptop right now.
Yeah, you sound very very authoritative.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my wrist started buzzing saying, hey, Kevin's doing something right now.
Be prepared, everybody, be prepared for the dog barks. They're about to start any minute now. Any minute. I heard the car outside.
Oh, they're gonna go crazy.
Yep. Oh, this is super difficult. You guys are going to see me closing my eye a lot tonight like this.
Is that your thinking face?
Nope. I found out that I have stress-induced something fluid retinopathy. Which basically means that due to stress, probably from the day job, because this stuff is awesome, probably from the day job, I have clear fluid leaking behind my eyeball.
Oh.
So what that means is that in the center of my eye, where you want to look, mainly, I see a circle that looks like it's right on camera. I know you guys can see it. It looks like a flash just went off in my eye every time I open and shut my eye. And if I only look through that eye at like a computer screen, it looks, I can start to see, like if I were to look at a checkerboard pattern with this one eye, it would wave back and forth like this. It wouldn't be a straight line between the checkerboards.
There's a liquid.
Yeah. It's like having a water drop on the backside of your eyeball.
Weird.
Yep. And it is stress induced. And the optometrist that I went to, although I am going to go see, just to make sure it's not anything more serious, the optometrist I went to said that she sees about 3 people a month with this condition around here, where I live and work. Which is very, very heavy, stressful tech industry jobs. So, there you go. But, you know what? The show must go on.
That's right.
And that's what's happening. So next week I may have an eye patch. Because it is easier to go down to one eye. But, we're going to try and get through it.
If you wear an eye patch, are you going to start talking like a pirate?
It's probably inevitable. I'm not going to lie to you.
I think it just happens.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be inevitable. But, like I said, the show must go on. So we're streaming tonight. We're making art. We're making really wavy, wavy comic drawings. But we're doing it, buddy.
Did you tell work to be nice to you now?
No. I just found out this afternoon. When I came back from lunch, I was in a heated meeting, and I noticed that when I got back to my computer, the text started looking sort of round, and I was like, "That's not right." And then when I started looking, I was like, "Oh, well, I must have like stared into a light unknowingly, because that happens, right? Like when you're driving and stuff, and you get flashed by the sun."
Yeah.
But this never went away, and it stayed there for hours. And I was like, I should probably call the doctor, because this is not going away like it should.
So this is the first time it happened was today.
Oh, yeah, it happened immediately. And then when I called the doctor, they were like, come in immediately. And I was like, oh, God.
That's There are a few things you ever want to hear from your doctor, and that's one of them.
Yeah, well, normally, you call a doctor and you're like, yeah, I think I need to be seen. And they're like, okay, well, sleep on it a week and a half and then we'll make you an appointment.
While they're flipping through their tea times going, oh.
Yeah, I explained what was up to the receptionist, and she talked to the doctor, and she comes back and she's like, how quickly can you get here? And I was like, oh, God, what?
We're going to have to drain your eye at once.
Oh, I wish it was that simple. Oh, my God. So the thing is, she's like, yeah, that's all. It's all good. It's just it happens. You need to like de-stress. Do whatever you have to do to not have any stress. And I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. And she's like, this thing is going to clear up in about 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, wow, all right.
A lot happens in 3 months, man.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. But you know what? We'll make it. We'll persevere.
That's a lot of yoga, dude.
I need yoga. That's exactly what I need, man.
I was thinking you need to go back to yoga.
I know. I was
Do some of
never.
your crouching dog, hidden dragon.
I was. Yeah. That was. I was doing yoga when we were working at DreamWorks 3 times a week, and that was just the best.
I think that's about the only way to survive that place.
I need it. I need it in my life.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I figured I'd start picking up yoga sometime next year.
But hey, I'm gonna tell you, if veterans can lose all their limbs and still go on to run and walk and do everything else, then I have very little to complain about. So you know what?
Exactly right. Especially with our cushy jobs.
Right? I'm good. I'm good. So nothing crazy happening there. But it does kind of suck. But that's c'est la vie.
Well, I mean, the only reason you have stress in your job is because you care about it.
No,
Right?
that's totally true, right? Like that's the thing that's the most of the time when you do get in heated discussions or whatever at work, it's just because everybody is they're feeling that passion, right?
Yep.
And that's what it's about, you know? So it's all good.
But they want to pursue great creative.
Yeah. 'Tis true.
Wasn't that one of the DreamWorks mission statements one year? Pursue great creative.
Pursue great creative. Yeah, I think so.
In as horrible of English as it was.
Right?
Oh.
Oh, some comments on YouTube. Creative Ape 3D. Hey, man or lady. Talks about, yeah, a little bit. Are you talking about my eye? My fun blinky eye? Yeah. Yeah, apparently, like I said, it's a well-known thing amongst us stressful, creative types. So, always good. But like I said, we will persevere. It's kind of funny too because looking while I'm drawing, it's sort of making me a little sloppier. So, I don't know. It kind of helped.
I was gonna say in the industry, isn't that called finding your style or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I just got to. Oh, that didn't work out. Just got to take care of old Righty over here, and I'll be all right.
You just need to start drawing all the characters with eye patches too.
Yar.
Yar. Sorry, it's now become a pirate strip.
Yep. I could totally have pirates in this.
Sure.
It's kind of I was kind of bummed because I was like, oh man, I hope I'm going to be able to draw tonight because I was like, I've been wanting to draw these guys again. I haven't drawn them in so long, and I was like, man, if I go to the eye doctor, I know she's going to be like drops and all this kind of stuff, and nope. She was like, we're going to make sure that it gets a little gross. She was like, we're going to make sure that nothing is bleeding back there because it could also be like you know how you like sneeze and bust a blood vessel.
Yeah.
She was like, it could be that, but when I told her where I worked and what I did, she was like, nah, yeah, it's stress. And so but I'm gonna go get checked out anyway. I'm gonna go to like a retina specialist, and they're gonna do some magic optics and then see if there's any blood back there. She literally asked me, she was like, have you like sneezed or coughed really hard today? And I was like, no. Wait, no.
Yeah, Yeah, I hate that when I sneeze so hard, like I pull a muscle in my arm. You know?
Oh, I've done that. I've definitely done that.
It's like you pull a muscle, like not even associated with sneezing.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that happens to my back all the time. If I like crazy sneeze.
Mm-hmm. Of course, whenever I sneeze, my cats scatter. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
the second coming.
Oh, creative ape. Yeah, it is not fun. I'll agree with you. But there's that old saying where it's like you get everybody together in a big circle and they all take their problems and throw them in the middle, and then most people are just going to go get their own problems back, because once they see everybody else's problems, they're like, you know what, mine aren't so bad.
It's sort of like a key party at a trailer park.
Yep.
Inappropriate analogies for 100, Alex.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I can't wait until this goes up on YouTube tonight and I get all the cease and desist emails.
oh goodness. Yeah, I had my own moment tonight on the treadmill. I was going, and I was just about hit the second mile, and my right foot started feeling numb, and I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good.
No,
My shoes were too tight.
no, it's not that. If it's your right, that's okay. It's left you got to
Yeah.
worry about.
Well, but your foot shouldn't be going numb while you're walking. You know, if I'm sitting on it, that's one thing.
I
But-
always end up tying my shoes too tight, and then on the elliptical
Yeah.
and the treadmill.
So you know that feeling.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
But this is the first time because these are newer shoes, and they were because the last shoes I got were like double E's, and these are only single E's,
Yeah,
so they fit a lot better. But man, I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna finish this. I did like a tenth of a mile short of 2 miles because I was like, what's going on here? I stopped and I'm like, well, I'm gonna take my shoe off and look at it. And as soon as I untied my shoe, it was like, oh,
Psh.
well, duh. But I was like, at that point, I was like, I'm done. I'm going home. I've done my 45 minutes. I'm going home. My Apple Watch said I did enough for today.
This has got to be Final Fantasy. All right, let's check it. Got to be Final Fantasy. This is like airship with. Yes, it is the Setzer airship from Final Fantasy. Boom. All of my childhoods are coming back.
Was it like the Chocobo song?
No. This is the once you get Setzer in the airship, you're flying in the
Oh.
map.
Yeah, that's good.
He was the one that threw cards.
Yeah,
He was the
I've seen all these, all the
he was
remakes.
the gambler.
I wish I had time to play all the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the gambler character. Oh man, his theme is so good.
Yeah, but it's no Chocobo theme.
I don't know about that now.
Well, that's just such the Chocobo is such a simple theme, right? But it's instantly recognizable.
You know it's hard? Women's hands. Because you wanna make them
Dainty.
yeah, it's like I wanna draw it like rah, and then you got to keep it all like, do the thing where you just get like the outline, and then just do the, that's just lame. Meh, meh.
But you can use nails to sort of cover up the awkwardness at the end of the fingers too.
Yeah, but even that gets awkward eventually. Let's
put some good 2-inch nails on there.
Like that. Well, oh, you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait on that video demonstration of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Did you see
there
this music has reminded me. Did you see the trailer for the live action Beauty and the Beast?
I haven't yet, but everybody's excited about it.
I was like, I mean, it's literally. I think it is absolutely almost going to be a shot-for-shot remake of the animated film in live action.
Why would they do it any differently?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking that maybe there'd be some. But I mean, like, even the voices of all of the like Lumiere and Cogsworth, like, they're sound-alikes. I know they're not the same actors. It's Ian McKellen and you know, others, but they sound so similar that it was like, really?
Why would you bring in big names and make them sound like it was in the movie?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just not liking his hand. Could be the Yar. Alright, I got nothing on this one. What is this one?
No, I'll have to switch over to here. I can't hear your music.
I should send you the link. That way we can play. That way we can play Name This Tune during the or Name That Tune during the. Sounds like a Castlevania. Oh yeah, it's got to be Castlevania.
Yeah, that's one of the things that made me want to get the that Nintendo. You know,
it's on my Christmas list.
It came with Castlevania 2, or comes with Castlevania 2 on it.
Yeah, it's definitely on my Christmas list.
And the thing is, you know, you could build one for about the same price. You know,
illegally.
No, well, yeah. Technically.
Technically murder's illegal. Technically.
Well, I mean, we're talking about, like, not even downloading a car at this point, right?
Yeah.
You know, these are, I don't know. It's not abandonware, you know, because Nintendo definitely is still around and protects the copyrights.
No, it's I mean, it's their active IP.
Right, but it's only active because they released this console. When was the last time they actually had this material as for something that somebody could buy and use in a modern system?
I'm talking about the IP, not the game itself.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And I guess I see it as a grayer area. I mean, I still believe in copyright protection for people who own copyrights on things. But it feels like the area gets grayer for games, for consoles that are no longer being sold.
Yeah.
You know? Because there's no loss of income. Like, that's the one reason I really believe in you know, copyright protection. You know?
Right.
Is protecting income for artists who work on material or who work at the company that produces material.
Whoa, that's weird. Switching over to that monitor. Ah! Okay. I'm looking up a hand on shoulder reference, guys. That's what we're doing right now. Because that's what you do in art. You give it
all about reference.
You give it the old college try. And then you're like, you know what? It's time to go for reference. Time to go to the morgue. Back when it was all like traditional art, and that's all I was doing. Everybody talked about every artist having a morgue, right? Which is just a big filing cabinet full of magazine clippings, pictures, anything that they could use as reference for their pieces. Now, of course, that's called the internet.
So you mean you didn't actually go down to the morgue and like start posing bodies?
No, that is incorrect.
That's sort of disappointing.
That is the literal tech response I would expect.
I mean, I could see where you guys in the the
Morgue. Morgue is
you guys in the school of forensic science would have like something worked out where you draw all the anatomy stuff for them and they let you sneak in to look at the dead bodies.
Morgue is sort of a trigger. It's sort of a trigger. When you hear the word morgue, you're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's all basically just awkward. That's the takeaway here. Awkward. Just awkward. So you know what, stream? I'll even show you guys.
Are you gonna flip over to your reference now?
Nope. But you'll see. Internet reference, hand on shoulder. Literally searched for hand on shoulder and got that reference, which is aight. It is aight to do that. Now I'm gonna flip it back to this monitor so I can actually reference it. Now, if I want to be really tricky about it, I just bring that in here and size it and take a look at it and see, flip it around. But I think what I'm gonna do is, just try and sketch it out this way. Because that hand is so important, right? Because it's such like a literally touching moment,
And it's like the whole. I mean, it's framed right in the middle too.
Yeah, it's a very, very important thing for this to work. So I'm gonna do my best to make it work. But we'll get some sketching here. And I think what I'm gonna do is just keep her hands sort of structural to begin with, and then go back. I'll go back and do the feminization if I need to. Like, get that a little darker in there.
Game music at its best, 24 hours a day.
Game music. Bringing it. Although, see, it's gonna be small, but that's okay. That's why we're drawing digitally, guys. Good Lord, getting this right. This is gonna be the fight of the night right here. The main event. Battling adversity and medical issues to get this hand to be how I want it to be.
I hope after you finish this, somebody comes in and dumps Gatorade on your head.
Somehow, I really hope that does not happen. One thing I am going to do, though, is flip over. Oh, that felt weird, too. Jeez. All right. Slap. That feels a little bit better. Feels more like the reference I was looking at, too.
That looks good, yeah. First, I'm looking at the one that you had.
I'm scaling up and rotating, and
yeah. Yeah.
Moving things around. I dig it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Get to the chopper.
So I didn't ask you on Saturday. You get to talk to many of the other artists that were there. Or did you spend most of the time in your booth?
At NC Comic Con,
Yep.
I was booth locked, man. When you guys got there, I mean when I stood up, that first time and got up and walked around, that was the first time I had been up all day.
Well, that's too bad.
In fact, my back was killing me from sitting in that chair all day, but I couldn't get up. I mean, which was great. Like, don't get me wrong, super appreciative of that, right? That everybody wanted to talk and buy prints, but man, that was rough.
Yeah.
Little rough.
And that's too bad because there were names that even I recognized, and I don't pay attention to anything.
Yeah, there was a lot of great people there for sure. And some I didn't even realize were there, and then I'm seeing like their Twitter feed and stuff update this week. Like, wow, thanks NC Comic Con, it was great. And I'm like, he was there and she was there. Oh,
yeah, totally. The one thing I thought interesting, and this is no detraction to the artists who work on the comic books, but like one of the artists there was like he did the comic books for like Adventure Time and something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's sort of cool, but at the same time, it's like it almost feels like going to see the minor league team for a baseball team you enjoy.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well,
why would you put it that way?
Unless you're really into the comic book, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not trying to detract from his talent or his ability, but I never picked up the comic book. So to me, it's like, okay, this is just, this is another dude who's associated with something I appreciate, as opposed to, the guy who the guy who's responsible for the cartoon.
Oh, dude, no, the Adventure Time comics.
Well, I know they're huge, and I know they do an amazing job because they've got a huge following. It's just, I guess I'm only just referencing my own ignorance when I say it. Which, if that wasn't already apparent.
No, I hear what you're saying, but oh wow, I was zoomed in when I drew that. Holy cow. No wonder it felt weird.
Because I definitely respect the talent that somebody has to have to take. I mean, even like what you're doing, you're taking somebody else's characters, right?
For Legend of Bill, yeah.
And you're keeping them true to the character and continuing the life of them, and I have a lot of respect for that. And I don't want to diminish that at all.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy because I get a lot of people comment and stuff, and they're like, well, it's just not like it used to be and stuff like that, But
yeah,
what you gonna do?
Well, I mean, nothing's like it used to be, right? Even how it used to be wasn't like how it used to be.
Right, that's true. One thing I'm gonna change though. So this guy right here, Fozzik lost his arm, and it's this side that he lost his arm. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of give him a stump in here, and I'm gonna have it crisscrossed with bandages. Maybe. Like that. Because I feel like there needs to be evidence in there, even though David never put that in. And I want people who actually have that to feel like, hey, he's like me a little bit.
Well, there you go.
That's the one thing.
The fans heard it here first.
Well, that's the one thing I worry about sometimes in doing stuff like this is like the intentions are totally pure, at least, you know, from my perspective, for stuff like the fact that he's an amputee, or, you know, you know, I have a character in Gnome Syndicate that is probably, like, if you go back and look at everything that she said and done over a certain amount of time, probably a lesbian. But
Sure.
It's like I just want to be true to that character and not feel like, you know, it's just something tacked on, right?
Right.
It's like you never know. It's like you don't know when. It's hard when you haven't understood, you know, what it's like, and then you put it in art, and then you want it to be as pure, and you're doing it for the right reasons, but you don't want it to come across as like pandering, you know, or like trying to get an audience or something like that.
Sure.
Now
and I think some of those things are easy to flirt with without actually like being serious about it. You know?
Yeah.
You can make allusions to something, but not actually like commit to the idea.
The eye patch, though, that I'm feeling pretty good about right now, dude. So me and Foz here we're definitely gonna agree on that, because
it's funny. You saw that review of Trolls where they were saying it was more liberal propaganda.
No, I didn't. That's funny though.
Oh. Yeah. Even if it isn't, it is.
I liberal propaganda. How dare you?
Well, just knowing the people at the studio, right?
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't intended, it just sort of soaks out. It just sort of like leaks out of them and it is absorbed into the content.
Well, sure. And I would expect no different. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
people write what they know.
that's exactly what I was just talking about.
Yep. But you have to be careful too, because you don't want to go too far first.
Right.
Like I just saw a commercial that had it was a stop motion commercial for Christmas this year, and at the end they showed the neighbor families, and it was literally, well, the original family was a mixed race couple,
Yeah.
with a kid, you know, with two kids, and the grandmother stayed with them.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, that's cool being progressive like that. You know, because hopefully this day and age people just see that and they, you know, don't even bat an eye. And then the next thing they showed one of the neighbors, and it was two moms and a kid. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then they showed the next neighbors, and it was two dads and a kid. And I'm just like, okay. It's like it's like the demographics of this one block, it goes completely against the law of averages.
Like, yeah, you.
You know, it almost felt like a college brochure, right?
With the amount of like overkill, like beating it over your head.
But I think it was. I'm sure it was all done in with respect and not trying to be pandering at all. They're like, hey, you know, it'd be cool if we just threw this in there and threw that in there, no problem. You know.
I dig it.
And then they had the, you know, the one family that was, you know, that would probably normally be like 70-80% of the suburbs where they were at was, you know, the traditional white family. And it was just like, well, that's, you know, those four families there, they pretty much hit every demographic outside of the people who would hate to see those four families there.
Not me. I welcome it. Bring it.
Sure.
Bring it all. Bring your weirdness.
But it's like, and that made me think, it's like, if you're producing some sort of media content or something, where you're having to create a story or create something like that. How do you feel both real and at the same time, you know, present an alternative without feeling like you're pandering to an audience?
Right. I get that. Like I'm saying. I mean, we do a lot, this comic does a lot of that stuff just sort of naturally. Like, these two are a couple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And initially he had kidnapped her, and it wasn't going well, and he was like a henchman of one of the bad guys. Then Bill cuts his arm off, and then she kind of, like, in hanging out with him, kind of develops this relationship, and their house is about to be destroyed by all these guys, which, Bill is on his way to try and stop. And so they basically found this nice little place to settle down, and
They found their swamp.
they did. Yeah. They absolutely did.
I was impressed at how well Shrek stood up when I watched it the other day.
The original?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's stuff in that was like, it was hard to believe how old, like, the fire effects were.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was like, wow, that's old.
That's right, buddy. Testament to PDI.
Those guys knew what they were doing.
Better believe it. I still think that pipeline was tremendous.
Sure.
I gotta be careful using that word.
Tremendous or pipeline?
Tremendous. Tremendous pipeline. Got a tremendous, it's a beautiful pipeline. Tremendous, beautiful pipeline.
I know lots of pipelines, and this pipeline is just amazing. I was talking to a pipeline the other day, and it was just telling me how good my pipeline was.
I've met a lot of pipeline people, and
That's right.
they all say it's tremendous.
They all agree with me that this is a tremendous pipeline.
Tremendous, yeah, that's exactly right. Terrible. Tremendous. Tremendously bad.
Yeah, and then I watched Kung Fu Panda 3. I really enjoyed it.
I have yet to see that one.
You would think by the time you hit the third movie. Well, I mean, you would think by the time you hit the third movie that it would feel like just another movie, right? Or just another cash grab. But it actually felt really good. The story on it was nice.
That's cool.
I mean, the foreshadowing in it was, dialed to 11.
Yeah.
So it's not like there are any surprises. But, the one thing was at the end, I'm like, how are they going to make a sequel? Because every movie, Poe keeps getting, stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
It's like, what sort of villain are they going to come up with for him to fight next?
Right.
But that'll be pretty exciting to see too.
Nega Poe.
There you go. From the Megaverse.
Yep, it's him. It's Nega Poe. It's just like Scott Pilgrim.
I was thinking of Darkwing Duck, but okay.
Oh yeah, Nega Duck. Yeah, totally. Just like my Darkwing t-shirt. I wore my Darkwing t-shirt not too long ago, and people had no idea what it was.
Oh, that's so sad.
Kids these days. You kids
was
watching...
it actually was the t-shirt like his face, or what is it? His
yeah,
logo?
it was him. It was literally him on the front. Bright purple t-shirt, him on the front. And it just says, Darkwing Duck. And I'm like,
is that one of Donald's cousins?
Yeah, there was a lot of questions like that. And I was like,
he's even on Goof Troop.
I'm like, are you kidding me? This is Darkwing Duck, fool.
That's like when you start talking about your crush on Gadget and people don't know what you're talking about.
From Rescue Rangers?
Yeah.
That's just gross.
Well,
that's borderline furry, sir.
Gadget came along during a special time in my life, and
That's not right. That's not
I
right.
kid. I kid.
No, you don't.
Maybe a little.
Yep.
Yeah. Now that I've made it awkward.
Well, at least you can see.
Are, are they gonna? I think they're trying to bring some of those shows back, aren't they?
I believe so. I know. Well, they're. I know they're redoing Ducktales.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Yeah.
I also think it's a requirement whenever you say DuckTales, somebody has to go, woo.
Ooh. That's true.
You know what Gypsy is missing? That I completely forgot about? That this music reminded me of?
Hmm.
Her earrings.
Oh yeah, gypsies need earrings. You know how you can solve that problem though? Is like a panel before she gets ready to get in a fight, she needs to go, hold my earrings. And then you'll never have to draw them again.
No, she's magical. She's got the magics. She's got the magic in her.
Well, she's a gypsy.
But she's not real keen on. Whoa. She's not real keen on using it for various reasons.
Yeah.
So, actually, let's see if that's receding backwards. Do that. That's too bright though. What I want is that color. Oh, I need a better color wheel. Poop. Poop, Ron, poop. Color slider. Put it there, doofus. There we go. That's what I wanted.
So you enjoying the chilly weather?
Oh, I love it.
I know it's right up your alley.
It is. It's right. It is correct.
I was just glad this morning that, like, it was not a little bit colder. We would have had snow on the way to work.
Psh. Not yet. Not yet.
I know. But as hard as it was raining, it would have shut the whole city down.
Oh, I didn't see any. I didn't see any rain today.
Oh yeah, this morning it was coming down pretty good. I guess it lightened up right about 9 o'clock. But
This also sounds very familiar to me. I gotta check it out. I gotta figure out what this is. It's killing me. Oh, Final Fantasy VI. This is the Terra theme. Terra. It's like Gone with the Wind. Yeah, this brings back memories. It's so funny how video game music can do that if you, like me, spent most of your youth playing video games.
Right. I think that's because they kept looping like the same, like 5 or 6 minutes worth of song.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But, and it was like back. I mean, obviously it was background music, but I mean it was background, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So you focused on what you're doing, and it just slowly, you know, went into your brain.
It went into your brain.
It's true.
This sounds very, very Kill Billish. So, did you see the trailer for this movie coming out next year called Valerian?
No, but I saw people talking about it.
Yes. So, it is based on and I may get this wrong, I want to say French graphic novel, although it may be Spain. I want to say French graphic novel, maybe a European graphic novel from a long, long time ago. And it is
Graphic novel made on Earth.
Yes, graphic novel made on Earth. And it is apparently, people are saying that it was, one of the basis for Star Wars back in the day.
Interesting.
And that it was one of the main inspirations for The Fifth Element. And of course, Luc Besson is making the movie, and he is the one that made The Fifth Element, which is
Brilliant.
still one of my favorite movies of all time, ever.
Yep. Me too.
Fifth Element is tremendous.
That's still my go-to for breaking in a new entertainment system.
Fifth Element.
Yep.
It used to be, The Matrix for everybody.
Yeah, it was never the Matrix for me.
Yeah.
Because it was the opera scene, and then
Yes.
the scene where he's falling. He's falling on the cabs.
Yes.
There's so much color and detail in both of those.
You better believe it.
And the audio from the opera scene is just amazing.
Totally. Yeah.
I can just sit down and lose myself watching it.
Yep. Fifth Element's just tremendous. It's got that perfect mix of legit sci-fi, like, not space opera, but sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
And just
A literal space opera.
Badassery, yeah.
It has a literal space opera in it.
It does. Any movie where you can actually put in a musical number. That's one of the reasons I love the first Captain America so much.
Yeah. They did a good job putting that in there too.
Right? Because it's like
it felt authentic.
Yeah, well, you and I have both worked in movies. It's like I've always said that, at some point somebody had a meeting and they were like, okay, guys, listen, here's what we're going to do. Musical number montage in the middle of Captain America. What do you think? And somebody at Marvel goes, yeah, all right. Okay,
It's pulling really well with the moms down in Glendale.
let's do this. I don't even think they cared. I think they were just like, yeah, that makes total sense. Why not do a montage in a musical number? It's the 40s. It's apropos to the era and to the.
And it had a little bit of humor too, which was nice.
Oh yeah.
Because honestly, the stuff he was doing, that was some pretty dark stuff he was going up against.
Oh yeah. Oh, this music. This music is, I'm being told it's time to go somewhere, and I'm like, I just gotta get to this one level. I just gotta finish this one thing.
Where's the save point?
Save point. That's cute.
That Finnish game I'm playing, the summer card game.
Yeah,
The save point is the toilet.
I'm sure. Yeah. Okay.
That's how you save the game. Go to the bathroom.
I remember Laurent at DreamWorks. He used to have all kinds of imported games from Japan,
Mm.
And one of the ones you literally fly around. Yeah, like the avatar that you fly around, like like R-Type, one of those games, is
Mhm.
literally a toilet firing poop.
Oh, nice.
You know what? Let's give her. She's like, you can't go out there. I'll never see you again. I think I'm gonna lighten him up just for posterity because he's a little too Shrek.
It's very green, isn't he?
Yeah. Maybe. That's the other thing too. The spot in my eye, it changes the colors of anything that it's in. So I have to do all my color work with this eye while figure it out. I gotta change the background behind them too. To something. Whoa, there's a cat at my feet. Holy moly. Let's see. What's a good interior cabin color?
Probably brown. Unfortunately.
No,
A log cabin.
you're totally right, but
It's not the color you want it to be, though.
let's just try a bunch of different browns. See, it's too similar to him.
Yeah.
I don't think we want to go light. I mean, I guess artistically, you could do any color you want to help with the mood, right? Like I should be going like, because he's about to go do his thing. If that would sell. Did that play right there? I don't think it works. Brown. Gotta go brown. Then let's
Well,
take
I mean, you could do a really dark brown because, I mean, it may be very dark inside the cabin.
Yeah, let's get too close to the gray.
Or maybe she just has Merlot walls.
Nobody's gonna blame you for that, honey. I mean, I'm gonna go in and do some lightening up anyway when I put the gradient to it, but we'll go with that for right now. Then let's begin the magic. I need to do an action for this. I just haven't done it yet. Have not done it. What is this? Sword and Sorcery EP. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, hey, Creative Ape on Picardo. Nice to see you over here. Some girl, Creative Ape says, some girl did a cosplay of Gadget and posted it on Facebook. The questions were outrageous. I can imagine. Are you kidding me? Like I said, a little bit
If
too
you
close.
want to go Google.
A little bit too close. Oh my God! If you start looking up, oh Lord,
No. So that's the problem. Is like a gadget outfit. I could see a gadget cosplay going two ways, right? And
I see. I don't have enough faith in humanity. I cannot see a gadget cosplay going any way, but the way
well,
we
they
would
could
think it would
easily
go.
just put like the little nose, and the ear, the headband ears on, and that'd be okay, right? Or they could go on the full on like, furry head.
Oh, I see what you're saying, but I don't think it would matter either way. I think you're gonna get. I think you're gonna get the same common denominator there.
I probably would have agreed with you until I saw that one Pikachu.
Do I want to know which one you're talking about?
I'm not even sure I want to search for the one I'm talking about, because I've seen many since then, and they've proven in time again that everything's on the web.
Yeah. If you can imagine it, you can find it on the internet.
Even if you can't imagine it.
Or didn't know you wanted to imagine it.
That's exactly right. I feel like sometimes people just take like a hat with a whole bunch of words in it and just create something. See, that's not too bad. Yeah, they work that nose in really well. Yeah. As far as cosplay goes, it's good cosplay. You're right, but it's not.
Oh, are you actually looking at it?
Yeah. Creative Ape sent the link.
Oh, okay. Now, I would like to see cosplay done of the whole team.
I was just thinking that. See
would
Monterey?
Yeah, Monterey Jack would be sweet. That would be cool.
You'd have to find somebody who's really barrel chested and has itty bitty legs.
I know, but it's possible.
It is. And then, you realize, Chip and Dale would be like the boring ones in that group.
Yeah, that's like the low-hanging fruit.
Although it would be funny if they dressed as Chip and Dale dancers instead.
I don't know if funny is the word I would use exactly, but
it would make me chuckle. I'd be like, why are two guys dressed like Chip and Dale dancers? And then you see the rest of the group and you're like,
oh, that.
Especially if one of them had a red nose. That's just weird. Or they could do Chip and Dale as Chip and Dales. I'm sure there's a corner of the web that would appreciate that too.
You know what I need to do? You know what I should do? Actually, let's put it on the ink side. I would almost rather have an episode of some sitcom where the bachelorette party shows up at a Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers show.
Like Confused?
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be funny.
That's the,
That's the joke.
They're all just completely ready to party. The hell is this?
And at the end of the day, they get taught a very important lesson.
Yeah. Brenda, I knew making you maid of honor was a mistake.
Well, that might be the second lesson they learn.
Yeah.
But they also learn that it's important to share with your friends or whatever.
You know what? Let's use. Let's go, Mr. Gritty. Not bright enough. There we go. Let's put some little pops on these armor pieces here. Oh, we got some 90s dance music, sounds like. From some video game. But I dig it anyway. Next time I stream, that's it. I'm going onto Spotify, and they can cease and desist all they want. I'm playing the soundtrack to Night at the Roxbury.
Maybe that's what this is from. It's Night at the Roxbury, the
game.
the arcade game.
Somehow I don't think so. No, it's not.
You have one lever just to bob the head. You know, one of the D-pads.
Maybe if I do this, I'll smack my eye back into health.
I got caught by one of those clickbait, like slideshows that was like, here are the most expensive NES games.
I hate those. Because
I hate them.
I want that information so bad.
Right, I don't, and it's like, and the way the page loads, it's like that button disappears right when you're ready to click on it.
Yep.
You know?
Sometimes
more
though,
stuff pops in there.
Sometimes though, I'm super happy I go to those on my phone. So that when I get the, like, you just won a new car pop up, I can just, like, exit out of the whole thing super easily.
Yeah.
Instead of having my browser on my machine shut down and, you know.
Yeah, well, thankfully now the browsers, like, let you do, say, no more pop-ups from this,
Right.
But, yeah, I was looking at, and it was like, some of the games were, they were only worth a lot of money because they were sequels to games that did well, but the sequel didn't do well.
Gotcha.
Or like the sequel came out, it was like an 8-bit sequel when the 16-bit market was heating up.
Right.
So some of them were like that, but then the other ones were like, oh, that'd be a cool one to have. It's like, the time trial for like the Nintendo World Series, championship. You
mean like from the movie The Wizard?
Well, I mean, they actually did that, Like, they actually had competitions like that, so people would get these, they would have to, I don't know how they got entered in the contest, but, the top X number of whatever would get these cartridges that they would use, and it would record their times.
Right.
And then they would turn that in. And then I guess Nintendo Power gave those cartridges away after the fact, after the contest was over. And now those cartridges are, in the thousands of dollars.
Oh, Nintendo Power. I used to subscribe to Nintendo Power.
I used to read my friend's subscription to Nintendo Power, even though I didn't have a Nintendo.
It's because you were a trashy Sega person.
What do you mean was?
Yeah.
I still am. I've got my Dreamcast in the closet.
Hey, Mark Beam, what's going on, man?
Mark!
Remember Tim Toll? He's chatting. Say hi to Tim. Let me check YouTube. Doo-doo. All quiet on Watch Me Work tonight. Normally that gets a few dings in here and there. Oh, let's see. let me look at this with my good eye. So Mark, you missed my discussion earlier about my eye. So I've been doing this all night, having to check color with one eye. Today I had an emergency appointment at the eye doctor because I developed a circle. I'm looking at you with it right now in the camera, and it's get this. And I know you'll never guess what it is, but it's stress-induced, like sinuous something retinopathy. Yeah, so basically there's clear fluid leaking into the back of my eyeball because of stress. Can you imagine that? So I basically need to live in a state where they legalized weed is what that's what needs to happen.
Glaucoma.
They tested me for glaucoma and they were like, nope, you're great. Everything's great. I was like, oh man, well.
Okay,
That's
well,
good.
I guess I'm not moving to California.
No, yeah, no, I was like, that's good. That's great, actually.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, Facebook, yeah, it didn't help. Yeah, this week definitely did not help, but, you know what I'm getting at. But, yeah, so she was like, hey, this thing is going to go away in 3 months on its own, or, as soon as you can remove stress to a certain degree. And I was like, oh, well, all right.
Facebook's for chumps, which is why I'm on there every minute.
Yep. 3 months of no stress. At least I have a lot of time off in there for all the holidays and whatnot. Just be chilling. But it makes artwork interesting because when if I look in this eye, like if I look at the computer screen, where the circle is, everything sort of bubbles. It's like looking through a drop of water on the screen, This one's fine. This one's water drop. So makes it interesting to check colors. I was joking earlier that I'm gonna have to get an eye patch like an eye patch like the character in the comic, General Fozzik.
I like the idea of it being a targeting reticle. There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's perfect. Perfect. Oh man. Well, comic strip down. I don't think.
You can get this done even with a bad eye.
Boom. But hey, we got other stuff. Let's minimize and break out. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what I'm going to be doing. Just be like, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, maybe you're the next stage in humanity. It starts off with a bubble eye.
Ooh, yeah. I'm an X-Man's.
What would it? What X-Man name would they give you?
Well, Cyclops is taken.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's like you've got a bubble behind your eye.
The monocle.
Monocle. If you
No.
do that, you gotta grow a mustache and a twisty mustache and wear a hat. Yeah.
Yep. The monocle.
What's his power? One of his eyes has a monocle built into it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's...
Devious. He'd definitely be a bad
Amazing.
guy as the monocle.
It sounds more like a villain from Venture Brothers
Yeah,
than
it does.
anything else.
And that would be his power too, right?
The mighty monocle. Yeah, that's exactly right.
I could even hear the Brock Sampson like dialogue in my head where he's like, "How's he? I don't even understand how he's a villain."
What? Yeah, that's top notch. Top notch reporting.
Macro vision. I can see you in very fine detail.
Yeah. This insect has over 6 million hairs.
I've created an ultra-fine cut in the seam of his jeans. It will embarrass him in 3 days.
Excellent. Yep. Never a dull moment. Never. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Trash that part. So for anybody watching on the other channels, I just switched over to Toon Boom. We pretty much knocked the strip out, but I got a little left in me, so we'll go till 10:30, and I'm gonna switch over and start working on this Running Man animation that I did. So it's funny because the Toon Boom videos I've done, when they go up on YouTube, I've actually gotten some comments and responses. People were like, "Oh, that's great! I love Toon Boom tutorials. Please." And now I'm gonna have to change my description. They're gonna get a little surprise Toon Booming at the end here. Now we'll see who really watches.
That's right. You could advertise it like the clickbait stuff we were talking about. Let's wait and see. There's more at the end.
The top 10 Toon Boom tricks that you didn't know you knew, but you needed to know.
That's right. Plus 5 more thrown in just because.
This is gonna blow your mind. Did you know this celebrity uses Toon Boom?
See, I'm actually curious about that. What celebrity uses Toon Boom? Do I have to wait to find out?
Whoa. This person listed on IMDb uses Toon Boom.
Huh. Oh. So we're taking the definition of celebrity pretty low.
Yeah, I'm
almost
definitely.
as many movie credits as Pauly Shore.
Bam. Now I'm super intrigued by the music. Oh, look at that animation disc. I love you, Toon Boom. You get me. I should never draw like that. I should pull the stroke. Always pull your strokes, kids. I also don't like the size of that line. Whoop. I'm intrigued by what video game this is from, so I gotta switch over. This is Command and Conquer.
Oh, which one?
Red Alert 2.
Oh, yeah.
this song is called Grinder.
I think that meant a little something different back then before the apps.
Yep. Oh,
Um,
Creative Ape over in Picardo, you have a question. Did you make that animation traditionally frame by frame? I did. I did the roughs definitely. Here, let me get it back into a place where we can actually. I'll show you. I'll show you what I done did. So a lot of it is transparent right now, which I can talk about, but let me turn the roughs back up so you can see them. There we go. So I started out with, and we'll do that too, and we'll do that. So I started out with just this, which is absolutely like the roughest, like non-anatomical sort of drawing style ever. Just volumes, just shapes, just basically something to get it moving. And I'm normally when I would do this traditionally, I would start with something like this, and then I would go back and tie it down and actually take the character and get it on model and all that sort of good stuff. But in this case, I just wanted the timing and the volumes. That's it. Not trying to, be very descriptive of the character. So if you want to see what this looks like, I'll give it a play for you. So it's just a little running man, little dance animation. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wicked. So let's turn our guy back on. It's actually it's a self-portrait of me in a Flintstone style. Let me turn off the other arm. Actually, let's just turn off all the arms. And the sleeve. Okay. So now we're sort of back. So I was trying some different things. The body itself is also sort of alpha'd, so I'm going to turn it back up as well. And let me go back and turn the roughs back down. I'm looking at the other monitor. That's why it seems like I'm looking away, because that's where that's where it defaults to open the other window. In case you're ever wondering, though, you know what? Let me do this. I don't know if you're a Toon Boom fan or not, but in case any of the people from YouTube that I was talking about before that enjoy the Toon Boom stuff, if you double-click that layer, you'll get this layer properties window. And if you flip over to the advanced, it's going to be on this tab to begin with. If you flip over to advanced, you'll see that this miscellaneous opacity is down here, and that's where you can change the opacity of the layer. So, that being said, let's take a look at this body. This hot body. So, this is just how the drawing is pegged right now. So you'll see in the timeline here where you have this, the thing with the three shapes is a drawing. Think of that as a piece of paper with a drawing on it. And then above that is the peg, which is sort of like, think of that as like a literal like pin or peg that you can move the paper around. If you're into animation, which I assume you probably are, at least a little bit, the multiplane camera at Disney, think about that, where you actually pegged your paper and moved it around. So, anywho, it's got a peg on it, but Toon Boom also allows for deformers, which is what this is. Now, this version of Toon Boom is the medium sort of version. It's not the top of the line. The top of the line has spline deformers, which is, I really, really want that. So what this ends up being is you can set basically joints and bones in here and deform the character. And it does an amazing job keeping everything pretty well together. And then you can just basically rig it up that way, which is super, super cool. So in that regard, it's very, I'm animating this in sort of a puppet fashion, but the legs, you'll notice, let me turn off the display. There you go. Alright, and then let's go back to the body drawing, and I want to crank that down. Okay, so this leg over here has been done sort of frame by frame. These are all the drawings, as you can see. but I don't like it at all. The method that I was using was sort of copy pasting the leg and then cutting it up and moving and redrawing, and I just don't like it. I don't like that it doesn't fit the sort of volumes that I had set up in my original rough drawings. So with the other leg, the right leg, this one, you'll notice when it animates, it is much, well, if I actually clicked, it is much more frame to frame, where it's following my drawings a lot tighter, and you can see that smear frame looks a lot cooler than the other. And you get a little more squash and stretch because I'm actually following my drawing instead of just trying to reuse. So I'm going to end up redoing this leg and throw all that work away, because part of what I'm doing is also experimenting to see, you know, to see what works best and what sort of method I like to use the best. And I think a combination is the way to go. For the body, there's not really any use doing frame-by-frame animation on the body, the actual tunic. Hold on. I'm going to sneeze. I'm not going to sneeze. There's no need doing frame-by-frame on that when you can put in bones or a deformer and actually get that bend that you want in the body. There's no need. For something like legs, feet, hands, if you're going to have fingers move, just draw it. So I love the flexibility that it offers, that's for sure. No two ways about that.
That tunic looks a lot better than when we first started.
Oh yeah. Well, the other thing too is, you know, that the original tunic has the little spikes on the bottom. Let me flip over to the library.
Then you tried to keep it flat, and you were trying to do some like CSG or something, right?
Well, I'm still going to have issues because I need to hide. This is where the premium version of Harmony would be really helpful, because I need to hide parts of the leg behind it, but then like I need it to come out, you know? And so when this leg starts getting up in the air, like if you watch, whoop, when we start getting up in here, this is going to get complicated. Because, I mean, I can pull that drawing back and I need to have it in front. This would be fine if it covered it up, but then it needs to, you know, part of this needs to come over the top of that leg and actually look like it's lifting up the tunic. And so that becomes super problematic. And the premium version of the software has different plugins and stuff that allow you to sort of work with that. But I may just end up hand drawing it for this. We'll see. But yeah, if you go to the library here, so that's 5. So originally I had the spikes on there, but redrawing that, I was like, I'm being an idiot. So what I did was I did a version where it's just flat along the bottom. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and put all those little triangles on there in a separate layer and just animate all the triangles themselves individually instead of trying to redraw that edge every single time. I mean, I guess it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but I think it'd be easier to move triangles around per frame and just get it working than to go in and actually redraw that every single frame every time. So one step at a time, one step at a time.
Or a hop, or whatever this dance move is.
It's the Running Man. You were alive in the 90s. You should be ashamed.
I was, for all practical purposes, I was sequestered in the 90s. At least the early 90s.
Alright. Yeah, Toon Boom has a lot of great features like palettes. I think Flash has palettes now, or sorry, Animate CC has palettes now, which is awesome. But they're super helpful. Alright, where are we? What are we talking about? Who am I? So yeah, see, this is... You know what I think I'm going to do? I'll have to play with it. I'm going to go ahead and intersect it for right now with this tunic, and then we'll play with it later. We'll figure it out. Whoa, too much. Jeez. Just want to knock that edge down a little bit. This is intended to be a smear frame, so that's why it looks as it do. So my color process, in case you're interested, once I get sort of an initial drawing and I get my palette set up, which I do go through and do the palette in sort of like a neutral pose, I like to keep, when I'm doing individual body part animation like this, I like to keep the camera window open here and then the drawing view open over here. The drawing view is awesome. And I go ahead and set my pivot with the pivot tool, which I'm going to sit right there. Oh, interesting, it popped this time. That has not been happening up to this point. Oh, it must have been because I already had a key on there. That's what it is, because I had a key on the peg. So we'll get rid of that. Okay, so now if I set the pivot, hopefully it won't pop. Oh, it did it again. Woof. Huh. Interesting. Super interesting. And then what happens to the pivot? It moved off of it. Every now and again it does this. It gets into this weird sort of state where when you move your pivot to the drawing, it sort of freaks out on you. And it's really odd, but so I'm going to select all my paintbrush lines and I'm going to merge them all so you can see everything sort of disappeared in there. Now normally if I was doing this I would definitely be using the pencil instead, because with the pencil you can actually come in and you know, change your thickness and pull around more like a vector, more like Adobe Illustrator. But in this case I'm just using the paintbrush because I had drawn this a long time ago. One thing I do want to do though is come back in here and thicken that up just a little bit to match everything else. So we'll have to get the selection again, because see now I've got that stroke kind of just laid on top of there, and we'll, I say bake it down, it's not really baking anything down. Alright, so I'm going to grab my drawing and I'm going to hit this guy right here, and what this does is this makes a color. Let's go to the color art layer. So what you're looking at here are called strokes. They're basically just sort of invisible lines that hold color. And you want to make sure that you close everything up like that, so that when you do the paint bucket, it will fill it. So you can go grab your paint bucket and your skin, do that, nails, do that, do that, do that, and do that. Okay, so this is only the color layer, and then the line layer is where we drew that, and then you have an underlay layer as well where you can do your rough animation should you choose to do that. That pivot is so interesting. I'm still kind of caught up on the fact that it moved like it did. It does it occasionally, and it always catches me sort of off guard because I don't expect it, and then all of a sudden things start flopping around. It's always something I've done somewhere. You click one thing wrong all of a sudden, but. Oh, notice everything's off now. Look at that. Look at that. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. So we're going to have to go back I lose all my colors. Hopefully I've got enough undos to make this work. Yep, that's all good. You gonna pop again? You did, jerk face. Okay. Oh, I got skin color. Burn, burn. Alright, so let's do our thing again. Grab all of that. Break it down. Color layer. Switch to color art. Make sure that all of our strokes are connected. Paint bucket. Toon Boom is a great vector art tool as well. Alright, let's see if that's still lining up. There's the other smear frame for the leg, so it gets really skinny when it goes up. The other leg's gonna go up, and then we smear frame down. Okay, I'll turn the body back on. Yep, stuff happens. I think that is just a given. Have a good night, Tell Dog. Oh, Creative Ape. Oh, that's cool. Skillshare. I think I've heard of Skillshare, but I don't know that I've ever actually been there and checked it out, but it sounds really cool. 12 Principles of Animation in Toon Boom. It's definitely a great piece of software to learn and practice those 12 principles, you know? Absolutely. Without a doubt. Tube all clear. Yeah, it really is nice. I've worked on a few different internet shows with Flash, and I mean, you can definitely accomplish everything you need to accomplish in Flash. There's no two ways about that. But Toon Boom does make some things nicer. You know, you can definitely get all the different plugins to make Flash to kind of bring it, or not Flash, but animate to bring it up in certain areas. But Toon Boom's really cool right out the gate. Even the medium version, like I've got, I really should set up like donations or something to try and get the premium version, because I would do tutorials if I could, for sure. But yeah, it's cool. It's really fun. Let's go ahead and set a key for this guy on the peg. And then, what I want to do here, I think I still have it in memory. I do. The big thing I'm doing here is trying to keep... poop. Is trying to keep the foot where I want it. I'm letting the foot be the basis for where things are going and how they're hooking up, because I want to since I don't really have IK, if I had, I tell you what though, if I had the spline deformers, I'd probably do a spline deformer leg and just have done this all puppet, honestly. Okay, let's chop that. Yeah, that tunic is going to take some work. There's no two ways about it. But it's alright. Challenge accepted. Now let's see if... what is going on with this? I feel like my pivot is in some weird mode or something, because I have not had this problem all day with this thing until now, which is super odd. Super odd. Somehow, I've somehow gotten the relationship off, but... what? Seriously? Now all of a sudden the pivot lines up? Well, that's been an odd one. You know what? I wonder if... I'm inheriting some motion from the just the pivot. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, Creative Ape, to see if there was a way to zero out the pivot, and I think I can. I think you can come and literally, you know, zero all of this out inside of the pivot. I thought there was like a hotkey for it too. Always learning. Always learning. I thought there was like a way to click. There was like an alt click or something here to zero it out. I know you can come and grab like the rotation pivot and move it, but this is when it starts to like get sort of wonky. But see, that's on the peg itself. And I wanted to do it on the drawing. have to look that up at some point if this keeps happening. This is the first time it's happened in this particular project, but it always strikes me as interesting. I've seen other people on YouTube. I know Frank Summers has run into this once or twice on some of his videos as well, which is always interesting. It's something like I want to figure it out, you know. Let's just try. Let's just get crazy with it. And the drawing layer properties. Yeah. I know there's the apply embedded pivot on parent peg. Huh. And notice these numbers are barely changing. Because the drawing is doing all the changing. That's where I was reusing the drawing, rotating it with that tool. Yeah, see, it's like I moved the drawing around on the... Yo, that's so weird. Oh, this is kind of fun, just seeing how this works. Huh. That's the other thing. Let's go ahead and break that down. We'll see what we're dealing with. I wonder if it was an order of operations thing. Like, I wonder if it's because I baked that drawing down initially. I mean, there's no key on here. I wonder if I set this stuff to 0. Ooh, interesting. Curiouser and curiouser. Look at that, right on it. Now if I wanted to just drag this drawing into place and rotate it, would the pivot get mad at me now that the peg is zeroed out? No, it didn't get mad at me. Interesting. Ooh, that pivot's way off now. But that's the drawing pivot. That's not the... Now I wonder if this is gonna freak it out. So I feel like by doing that we're like unembedding. Rotate, scale. I think that's probably okay now. Nope, look at that. Moved it and it went off. Crazy times. Let's see if that reset the pivot on the... Don't think it did. It definitely won't do it for that. Interesting. What if we blow away this key? Ah, ha, 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 ha. Boom. So previously I've been able to just take the drawing and actually place it where I want it with no key right there. And it's held it completely fine. So weird that this is like this though. Seems okay. But it's like moving that around. Messed up the peg from here. Embedded pivot on parent peg. Yeah, it's like the parent peg is now off, which is fine. I don't think it's going to be a problem for this frame at any rate. Yeah, see, it's got those values still baked into it from before. I'm going to go ahead and save. That pivot is somewhere close to there. Did it just move? I really don't think this matters to get this exact, but it's just bothering me for some reason. It's so close now. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Shoop. Shoop. Yeah, it's so weird. Let's get out of this mode. Yeah, there's like an offset here somewhere, but that's okay. Tis okay. Tis okay. Let's go grab our paintbrush. Let's get in here, and this will probably be the last thing we do here. I'm gonna leave those two tails on there until we figure out what's going on with the rest. But let's go and grab our leg. Back it down again. And next color. Done and done there. This, I think, the bit that I just went through has happened previously, like once or twice to me in Toon Boom, and I think that's pretty much like the sloppiest aspect of it. It's just so good otherwise. That the whole like drawing pivot shenanigans. It's just something you got to deal with, I guess, but it is kind of a pain, no doubt, and it can take you down a rabbit hole trying to get it fixed. The travesty here is it would be really easy just to duplicate this leg and paste it in an empty drawing, but I don't want to deal with that pivot again, so I may just end up redrawing it and going from there. Because I want to try the leg again fresh anyway, just to see if it can happen again. So I think that's what we'll do. I'm going to go ahead and hit a key here. Go there. Definitely not that guy. Yeah, let's grab this guy. So we're going to copy it. We're going to come to our blank drawing. We're going to paste it. Okay, so here's where I think we got in trouble. Was moving this guy around because the pivot for some reason is way off. Sorry, I was just checking to see one or two things here. Hey Creative, definitely Monday nights, and then I try to do a stream later in the week too. This week may be a little bit too busy for me, but I definitely try to get in twice a week at least. But Monday nights, 9 o'clock, definitely. I mean, unless of course, you know, it's a holiday or something like that. I feel like I should be able to just come in here and grab this drawing and put it where I want it. In this case, I actually want to do this. Like that. Alright. I feel like I should be able to do that. And then come over to the drawing here. And put the pivot where I want it. But it's interesting that I'm getting that same offset before, because like over here, there's no offset. Whoa, 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 whoa. Didn't mean to do that. Oh wait, no, that's okay. I think if the peg is selected, then you get like the... No, maybe not. So before I was getting that blue box around every drawing, now, seriously? Like how? What is going on? So we do that, we do that. It's exactly, Yeah, I've got to look up. I've got to look up resetting the pivots. Got to look up resetting the pivots on these. Because I feel like there's an offset somewhere. I mean, like, practically I know that there's a transform somewhere that's offset. What in the world? Well, gang, I feel like I'm going to be looking at this and trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm not going to take you along with me in this case until I can figure it out and then maybe explain it the next time we stream. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I got to post a comic strip that we all worked on together, so that's cool. And I will be back. Check out my Twitter, KM Vassy, Picardo, YouTube, Twitch. Follow me, find me, and we will be back another time. And for anybody left, Mark, thanks for hanging out, buddy. And I don't know who else left here in Twitch land. Looks like it might just be you. So thanks for hanging out, and everybody, we've got to figure this out, and we'll do it next time. Have a good night, everybody. Good night.